Welcome, Hexagons. How's it going? How's it going? Once again, here we are. Beautiful day in Hexaco. We are doing great things. We are, a community of solid men and a couple of chicks. Hopefully, you guys are all doing great. There's a lot of news, not really. But, Richard Heart, there is a little bit of beef. Looks like Mr. Gary Gensler, actually the SEC, responds to Richard Heart and his fire, and he how he wants it to get dismissed. So we're gonna take a look at that, see what's going on with all of the craziness in the community right now. We saw a huge sell-off yesterday. So we'll go ahead and talk about what's going on. But first, of course, you're going to want to hit the likes, smash the likes. Yes, smash the likes. If you're not already subscribed, and, go ahead and comment either in the chat or underneath if you're watching this as a replay. Really boost the algorithm. So we got to get a boost. And, when you boost the algorithm, guess what? It gets shown to more people. And guess what? People that don't know what Hex is, never seen what Hex is, they get to understand now, oh my goodness, what is this? What is this great token? Oh, because it's got so many likes. Look, if you see something on YouTube and you see one that has 1 million views and then another one that has 10,000 views, which one are you going to click on? The one that has 1 million views, because you're like, this person knows more, right? Automatically, you don't know for sure, but this guy has more knowledge. This guy knows more. But if we're doing that for our entire community, guess what? Boom, we're all going to be looked at like we're all geniuses, right? So don't tell anybody that secret. And audience retention. Watch this till the end. Watch all of the Hex stuff till the end, so we can all get this audience retention. All right, let's go check the charts. Bitcoin down right now 1.7%, $42,396. Look at that. Came down to that 52 moving average. Maybe somebody had said something about it a while ago that even back here, go watch, go check the charts or go check the videos, guys. Little Hexo said, we could come back, pull back. I even said that we could come back clear to here. Nobody wanted to hear it. 30,500. Do I know that it's going to go there? Nope. But, it's below the 9 EMA, and it looks like it's pushing it down. So Ethereum down 2.44%. It's actually doing a little bit, looking better. To me, I said that they would probably, or that it possibly could come down to $2,377. MACD looks like it, might come down and reset. All right, sorry. Something in my throat. And but it's still above the 9 EMA. So S&P down 0.83% today. NASDAQ down 1%. Dow Jones 0.34%. And the dollar-a-do actually up. So watch out for the old dollar-a-do making a comeback. Yikes. If you haven't noticed, guys, the GBTC discount, which is like what everybody was looking at, because Richard, by the way, nobody else looked at this at all until Richard said it. So if you see any of these crypto influencers that are, Hex haters, Richard Heart haters, and they're talking about this, guess what? Richard's the one that made it popular. So once again, but look at this, guys. Since February 22nd of 2021, this thing has been in the negatives, and it got cleared down to 50% negatives. Right now, it's only at 1.18%. Down or in the negative. So it's actually 1%, 1.25% cheaper to buy GBTC than it is on the spot market. But at one time, dude, 48% back in January of last year. Crazy. But it came back, and Richard pretty much said, why would you buy spot Bitcoin when you can buy at 50% lower on this GBTC, which totally makes sense. Why would you, right? Because you probably were January of 2023. How much was it worth? Let's see how much it was worth in January 2023. January right here. So it was worth $15,000 in January, and then it was a 48% discount. We'll just say 50. So it was like $7,500 to buy one Bitcoin on GBTC. Why would you not buy it on GBTC? Now it's 1%. So the guys that bought GBTC down here in January, Now they're sitting at probably about $40,000 instead of, and they went so they went from $7,500 to $40,000 instead of $15,000 to 42. So they made these guys that just bought spot Bitcoin got like what, a 3x. The guys that bought the GBTC got what, 6x, 4 or 7 or 5x. All right, I'm not going to do the math because I'm going to sound real ridiculous. And somebody's going to hit me on it. Somebody's going to be like, actually, Hexo, it's a 4x, 4.3x. All right, well, let's check out what Hex has done in the last 24 hours. 4 zeros, 1.26. We are at 25% higher than when you sacrificed, but we are down 5% down today for the Pulse price. PulseX down 7% today. 4 zeros, 4.7. And but look at this, guys. You want to see something crazy? Look at this. Can we show showing coins? There we go. Showing coins. Nearly, okay, so 661 billion. Let's see. Touch Hexo's little, what is this? Okay, no like/unlike buttons, but I'll give you a thumbs up. See, okay, thank you. All right, so we're at least streaming. I was making sure that we were streaming. I've done this for like 10 minutes and then I'm not streaming, so it's always a bad time. So 661 billion, guys, billion of these coins have been already burnt. Now let's exclude the OA. Look at this. 3.23% has been burned already. How long have we been a coin? How long has PulseX been a coin? Like 8 months, and there's already 3% gone of the entire supply. So the market cap looks crazy, 20 trillion, but nearly a billion has already been, a quarter billion or a half a billion, excuse me. 750 million would be more better, but man, that's crazy. 661, 3% has totally been burned already. Currently, incentive token 118,000 have been burned from it, which is a 0.5%. And look at this, guys, 2.8% down today for incentive token, $1.86. And then we got the old Hex, beautiful X, just it's actually up today 0.28% at 1.93, and eHex right at a penny. Nice. So there you guys go. With the Hex chart, actually, let's check out the Hex chart. This is the longest running Hex chart. If somebody else has a different one, I would actually like to know it, that has like all of this data, but maybe has V2, because this one just doesn't have any volume on it, but it doesn't, who cares? It follows the price pretty correctly. But look at this, guys. 200-day moving average continues to stop us. But look, the 52 continues to make its way up. And when these two cross, the blue right here and the orange, that is a golden bullish, golden bullish, what is it? Bullish cross? What is it? Now I'm like, I'm freaking, it's bullish cross. It's a bullish cross, golden cross. It's the golden cross, bullish golden cross. When there's 52 and the 200, I just forgot the name. Sorry. Don't look too hard into it. But yeah, so this is extremely bullish when this 52 and the 200 move. They cross each other, and it's crazy. Golden cross, yeah, the golden cross. And then when they go against each other, so way back here, I mean, this one we saw it back here, the golden cross. So the golden cross happened right before Pulsechain came out, and we went all the way up to 12 cents on eHex. And look at this, guy. Well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. eHex, it was the same. But then you got another one right here. So we got a bullish or golden cross right here, and then a death cross is what it's called when it go down below. And then look, we've been down ever since. And look, does that orange look like it's about to cross? We're gonna have to wait and see for a couple more weeks, right? Let's check out the weekly. I haven't checked out the weekly in a long time. So the weekly is let's see, 952. Okay, so the 200 is right here, the 52 is right here. So once those cross, that'll be crazy, because I don't think they've never crossed before on the weekly, just because it's such a long time period that the 200 weekly average has just appeared in the last since September. All right, and then look at this. The MACD has crossed, though. This is bullish. It looks like it's pointed upwards. It's got to get past this line right here, right in the middle. That looks extremely bullish. And the RSI stuck at 50. So you want the RSI to be pointed up and above 50. Those are the bullish marks. So really, we're just sitting on the fence right there. But we are above the 9 moving weekly average right there. All right, $606 for one T-share, 13.1 cents over there on Pulsechain is what you're going to get paid out. 9.73% is staked. And over on EHEX, $319 for a T-share, 6.8 cents for your T-share, and 9.31% is staked. All right, we already checked all this. All right, guys. Mr. Garlic Breath of Ripple, the CEO, cites SEC's hostile crypto stance for not prioritizing IPO. So Mr. Garlic Breath was speaking at the World Economic Forum after he was forced to eat bugs and crickets. But he was talking about said an initial public offering or an IPO in the U.S. was not an immediate term priority, with the securities regulator is hostile to the crypto industry. Trying to go public with a very hostile regulator that approved your S1, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me. So pretty much they might they're talking about wanting to go an IPO route, kind of like what we saw with Coinbase with their coin token. You know, they want to be listed on an exchange or like an actual exchange, so you could buy it on, you know, whatever exchange not an exchange, what's it called, the stock market. You can buy it on the stock market just like you can with Coinbase. So Mr. Garlic Breath, he doesn't really he doesn't want to do it while the SEC is attacking him, obviously. He says, we've looked at other jurisdictions that have clear rules of the road, but honestly, a lot of people go public because they need to raise capital. Ripple is not really in a place where we need to raise capital. Yeah, because you guys sell like a whole bunch every month on top of your followers or the people that buy into your Ripple token. Yikes, right? Garlic Breath also referred to the current SEC chair, Gary Gensler, as a political liability, adding at some point there will be a new chair, which would be a good thing for the American people. Well, hopefully, right? So Garlic Breath didn't see a potential future IPO as an exit for investors. I don't think an IPO as an exit. I think of an IPO as a step in the journey. So shareholder liquidity is important to me. We have investors that invested in Ripple in 2012. So they've been in this deal for 11 and a half years. So if you think they're not going to try to get an IPO, gosh dang, right? So these guys may not get labeled as a security, which fine with me. I hope you guys do. If you're an XRP fan, I hope you don't get labeled as security, because if you don't get labeled as security, boy, oh boy, Hex ain't getting labeled as security, right? So let's see. Garlic Breath also said that Ripple has had a cash flow positive for the last couple of years, enabling it to invest in the firm's operations, external acquisitions. Last week, Ripple initiated a $285 million share buyback that valued the company at $11 billion. And so they want to provide liquidity. So, you know, they're crazy that this, and honestly, it's crazy that, Hex, they're trying to fight Hex, right? And Pulsechain. There's no company that Richard doesn't have to sell every month $1 million or $5 million. Look, XRP has buildings, office buildings, employees that they have to pay every month. They have office buildings all around the world, but I know of I think 2 in San Francisco. Just try to go rent an office building in San Francisco and see how much that is going to cost you, right? Dude, an office building in San Francisco. Just think of how much they're dumping on their guys' heads every month. All right, Sam Bankman-Fried's parents asked court to dismiss FTX lawsuit seeking to recover the funds. Of course. Why wouldn't they, right? Hey, don't worry about us. We didn't do anything wrong. So Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fried. That's why his last name is Bankman-Fried, I guess. I didn't realize that until I read the article. The parents of Sam Bankman-Fried, who dashes their name with your mom and your dad's name. That's weird. Just take your dad's name or your mom's name. I don't care. Okay, they have asked the court to dismiss a lawsuit by the bankrupt crypto exchange FTX seeking to recover its funds it alleges were fraudulently transferred. So FTX actually sought to recover millions of dollars from Bankman and Fried in September of 2023 before the entire collapse of FTX, which is crazy. So they said that Bankman-Fried, both professors at Stanford Law, which FTX donated millions of dollars to Stanford, by the way. But they argued that Bankman did not have fiduciary relationship with FTX and did not serve as a director, officer, or manager. And even if fiduciary relationship existed with FTX to plausibly allege a breach, according to, so they pretty much just said, show us the evidence, right? So yeah, it's pretty funny. We'll have to keep watching this one. It's pretty, this whole thing is pretty crazy. Let's see. Bankman received an annual salary of $200,000 for his role as senior advisor to the FTX Foundation, more than $18 million for the property in the Bahamas, and $5.5 million in FTX group donations to Stanford University, which the university has said will be returned. Oh, I'm sure they will. All right. Well, you want to hear some SEC L's today. Let's look at some SEC L's. We always love to say them. So Mrs. Falia, which is a judge of is it the Southern District? Let's see, Southern District, I believe. She's part of the Southern District of New York. So Richard's case is in the Eastern District of New York. This is in the Southern District of New York, which is, at least they're setting precedent in New York. But Mrs. Polk-Falia, I don't know how to spell her name, just asked the SEC government why she shouldn't listen to Senator Loomis, which, if you know who Senator Loomis is, she's the senator for Wyoming. She's a big Bitcoin crypto nerd kind of lady. She's always a proponent in the Senate for cryptocurrencies. So she's somebody that's on our side, right? I don't know why I'm not following her, honestly. Who says Falia should dismiss the case. She's not just a the judge says she's not just a random senator. She's someone deeply involved in this space. Why is she wrong? The SEC lawyer says a senator's opinion shouldn't be able to overrule years of securities law. The judge then says, Falia then addressed the Howey test. We've had a good run. We've had 90 years where these securities laws have been able to apply to these markets, but now we have something new. So she's saying, hey, we got something new here. Why do we have to do a 90-year, these things that were for orange groves back in the day? Was it orange groves? I don't know, but I'm a big fan of orange groves these days. That they're why are we saying the cryptocurrency, these new markets, why are we applying them to the crypto? It's a new market. Let's make something new, right? So I thought it was pretty awesome. The letter. So in other news, now Richard has gotten a response from the old from the SEC, and we can take a look at it. Let me open it up. Hold on. Let's see. Download. Okay. First, let's go ahead and look at the first page. All right. Let me. There we go. All right, so this is by the SEC. Let's see. Yes, Orange Groves Howey test just followed Loomis. Yes, Loomis is pro banksters. Oh, that sucks. Let's see. All right, let's check it out. Plaintiffs, Securities and Exchange, or the Commission respectfully responds to defendant Richard Heart request for pre-motion conference. So pretty much, Nuclear Herbs, he came up and I posted this, and he said pretty much that this is where, pre-fight, before a big WWF match or UFC match, how both guys are just talking smack about each other. Oh, your mother did this. Oh, well, your auntie gave me this. One of these things. Well, that's pretty much what they're doing right now. They're just throwing it at each other. It doesn't really matter. And then when they actually go to court, I think in April is when you'll actually see what happens with these two things. The motion to dismiss would be I don't know if it'll be my favorite, honestly. Let me know if it's your favorite, if that's what you want to happen. But Nuclear Herb said this too, where if they did that, people in the communities that are not in Hex, that hate Hex, would just be like, well, they won on a technicality, something like this. So I think that it's the fastest way to get out of this, but yeah, I mean, geez, I don't know if I want to win on a technicality. I'd rather it just be like, oh yeah, they're good, right? All right, so they say, in an attempt to obtain dismissal, Heart seeks to minimize his role in a $1 billion offering and a multi-million dollar fraudulent scheme to that of sideline commentator to a global community of people who have simply chosen to run certain computer programs. We literally are. The distortion of the SEC's well-pled allegations cannot be the basis for dismissal under Rule 12. Among other things, the SEC sufficiently alleges that Heart developed, released, and extensively promoted the crypto asset securities at the center of this global community of investors. So they're saying that Richard is the middleman. He's the guy that promoted it. He was the number one guy, and he developed it, he released it, and extensively promoted it. That's what you're gonna get him on? Jeez. So community of investors owns and controls the relevant websites. So he's saying, Hex.com, stuff like that, and pools and controls investors' funds, millions of which he has misappropriated. All right. So the court has personal jurisdiction over defendants who were properly served. The Due Process Clause permits a court to exercise specific personal jurisdiction over a non-resident defendant that has certain minimum contacts, such that the maintenance of the suit does not offend traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. The complaint alleges the defendants specifically accepted investments from the U.S. into the United States, designed their trading platform to be a fork of Uniswap, and encouraged purchases of Hex tokens through Uniswap, and made extensive use of social media such as YouTube to pitch investors all over the world, including the United States. The allegations constitute more than the minimum context needed to satisfy traditional notions. So I guess of fair play. So I guess that they're going to try to fight that. They're going to say that, most of the people, and I'm an armchair lawyer. I'm not anybody well versed in law, so don't take this as any sort of lawyer advice. But it sounds like that they're just trying to say that most of these people, or that he encouraged U.S. investors to get in. So a lot of them were in the United States. And he made extensive use of social media, such as YouTube, to pitch investors all over the world. So let's see. Personal jurisdiction over crypto assets founder that did business while traveling in the United States, utilizing United States-based payment services and marketing their products in the United States consumers. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Is this page 2? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Page 2. Additionally, while Heart summarily claims that service on him was insufficient, the Finland Ministry of Justice, the country's central authority under the Hague Convention, provided the SEC with a certificate of service in conformity with Article 6 of the convention. This is prima facie evidence of sufficient service. So they're pretty much saying, no, it was fine. That was, the service was fine. Leaving it at the police station, that's fine. That's our service. That's the service in Finland, I'm guessing. So number 2, defendant's 12B6 motion will fail. So they're saying that, this motion to dismiss on 12B6 motion will fail. Defendant Heart sets forth several areas in which he intends to attack the commission's complaint under Rule 12B6. None are availing, and the SEC responds to each in the arguments. So pretty much he's saying that, Heart's extraterritorial arguments failed. Heart claims that the SEC's allegations are impermissible, extraterritorial, are unveiling. Morrison held that the anti-fraud provisions pretty much they're saying that they can. This one I'm not entirely sure of. This one is really hard to read for me because I don't know what the extraterritorial argument even implies, honestly. Let's see. Defendants offered securities. Hart argues that he did not offer to sell investment contracts because the SEC has not alleged that the crypto asset at issue involved common law contracts, which true. Nobody got a contract, right? Nobody signed a contract. Even assuming the SEC allegations were so limited, Hart's position that a common law contract is required is wrong. The Supreme Court has defined an investment contract as any contracted transaction or scheme whereby a person invests his money in a common enterprise and is led to expect profit solely from the efforts of the promoter or third party. So there you guys go. They're saying that Richard is the of the promoter or the third party. So they're thinking that we expect profits solely on Richard or the third party. Pretty much Richard. There need not be contrary defendants' assertions, a formal common law contract between transaction parties for an investment contract to exist. Even the case cited by Hart, SEC versus S's, Edwards recognizes that the test for the whether particular scheme is an investment contract was established in the Supreme Court decision in Howey. All right, so the third is the fraud charges with specificity required by Rule 9b. Pulsechain and Hart violated the anti-fraud provisions of the federal security laws by misappropriating at least $12.1 million of Pulsechain investment proceeds from Hart's personal whims, including the purchase, we already know this, high-end automobiles and the Enigma diamond. As alleged in the complaint, Hart repeatedly informed the public about the development tasks that needed to be completed before Pulsechain could be released, and that the investment in Pulsechain supported free speech ideals. They might be. Meanwhile, Hart never disclosed that he was actually using Pulsechain investor funds, not for the development and marketing of the Pulsechain network. Well, I don't know if Richard ever, marketed Pulsechain. Did he ever market it? I'm not entirely sure. But, they're going to have a hard time trying to get Richard. Like, Richard was rich before, right? So you don't think that he just didn't use any of that money for, maybe he just kept the money in there. Imagine if all of the money is just still there and they're just like, oh, geez, okay. I don't know. Because I don't know how much money Richard had before Pulsechain and Hex. I mean, this is the big thing. They're saying the Pulsechain. They're talking about Pulsechain, right? The Pulsechain sacrifice is what I'm guessing that they're talking about. Not the Hex adoption amplifier, where he made. I've heard Richard said 1 million Ethereum. I'm going to say 100,000, 10% of that. But even then, 100,000 Ethereum times what, $2,500? It's a lot of money. What is it? Like $250 million or $25 million? It's a lot of money. Maybe he used that. Why not? But for his own luxury purchases, a reasonable investor would have wanted to know about the direct misappropriation of invested funds. Well, again, what else would I have wanted Richard to do with it, right? I don't care. We gave him our money for something that we wanted. Free speech. That's what we wanted. And then he gave us a free token, a zero-valued token at the end of it, right? We got a zero-value token. Once the bridges were completed, hey, somebody bridged in actual money into the thing, and it was worth something. But we got a free token, and we got exactly what we wanted. We wanted to fight for our free speech and freedom of movement. Looks like we got it. So, misappropriation of proceeds of securities transactions to pay one personal expenses constitutes a fraudulent scheme under the anti-fraud provisions of the SEC. Let's see. All right. So the major question doctrine does not warrant dismissal. Hart misapprehends that the purpose and reach of the major questions doctrine in claiming that it requires a dismissal. The doctrine is rooted in separation of powers concerns and constrained agencies' regulatory assertions. This case, by contrast, involves the SEC's exercise of its clearly granted and long-withstanding authority to enforce statutory requirements, which the SEC has exercised since inception. The SEC seeks to impose its will on the $2 trillion digital asset. Oh, so this is what Richard has said. Nor is Hart correct that the that with this action, the SEC seeks to impose its will on $2 trillion asset industry. The SEC simply seeks redress for Richard Heart's violations, for which lawsuit is the ultimate remedy. Oh, I'm sure the lawsuit is the ultimate remedy. I'm sure that we're, as investors, going to receive the funds that you sue Richard Hart for. Let's say that they get him for $50 million. Do you think that you're going to see any of that $50 million? No, you're going to see the price dip in pennies. We've already seen it dip in pennies because of this lawsuit, right? So I don't understand where they're saying that the lawsuit is the ultimate remedy. If you didn't do the lawsuit, guess what Hex would probably be doing just great. If we didn't have the SEC to worry about, what do you think that would be going on? I bet we want to be worried about, if it's all gonna. I mean, they can't stop it, obviously, but we'd be doing a lot better than talking about Gary Gensler every day. All right, the complaint violates no constitutional rights to speech and association. Contrary to Hart's characterization, the SEC does not wish to impose a content-based regulation of computer code or any protected speech, nor does the SEC seek to punish Hart for discussing open source peer-to-peer communication software. The SEC is tasked with enforcing federal security laws, which it alleges the defendants violated, with an unregistered offering of securities and by misappropriating investors' funds. This action does not curtail any protected speech, and in any event, the Commission's compelling interest in protecting the integrity of the securities markets would suffice. The SEC's mission, ensuring that prospective investors receive a full disclosure of the material facts necessary for them to make an informed investment decision, tends toward more, not less, speech in the form of registration statements and material disclosures when the law requires, to further educate investors. So they're pretty much saying that they're not trying to do that. But Richard should have been more upfront of what he was going to do with the monies. With the money. But that's what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And let's go ahead and get to the chat. I know we've been talking for a little bit. So let's see. Let me go back. Let me scroll back. We got a lot. Clickbait. I don't know about that. Maybe. Golden. Okay, let's see. It's lines crossing, goats are sacrificed or something. True. I thought he had a court on the 15th. What happened to the dismissal? Anyone know? No, it's, I think, the April something. In April it comes. Because of the people freaking out of the SEC response paper, it's a nothing burger. It really, like, dude, who's sounded better? Put Richard's next to theirs, and theirs is kind of like, well, we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to say that Richard misappropriated funds because he took in investors' funds and then he spent it on himself. Guess what, guys? We gave him our money for whatever he wanted to do with it. We were donating for free speech. It's like, listen, if somebody goes, hey, give me a donation, I want to do something with it, and you don't have any type of contract. We didn't have any contract. We didn't say, okay, if you don't release Pulsechain, then you're done for. We're going to sue you to high heavens. I'm sure that some people would have thought of that, but he did say it was a donation for freedom of speech. And then some people, somebody was going to airdrop you some tokens, free $0 tokens, to those people that sacrificed, right? That seems like not a contract. That seems like, hey, if you want to get into this, sure. If you go to a fundraiser, right? And they say, hey, if you come here and do this fundraiser, and you give us $50 to get into the fundraiser, and we give you a teddy bear, a free teddy bear once you get inside the doors, is that an investment contract? Right? Like, should the SEC be monitoring those guys? I don't know. Maybe we should start calling the SEC on some of these guys. All right. Let's see. Hex Guild streaming following the stream. Went raid though. All right. I don't know what the Hex Guild is. Isn't it good for early dismissal? Why would they want to milk it? What? Hex, again, Turk Montana, this is not the dismissal. This isn't a court hearing at all. Again, this is where the two parties make their points in statements, right? They're trying to go back and forth. This is where they're like, oh, someone where they're sitting and Dana White's in the middle and they're doing one of these, yeah, I'm gonna, that's what they're doing right now. They're just trying to say what they're doing. They're just talking smack to each other. Hex is so good that it dumped from 50 cents to 2 cents and then from 12 cents to 0.044. You got 2 times to buy in super low. Isn't that great? Yeah. Let's see. My dad's name is Gunther. My mom's name is Wolverine. I'll change my name to Gunther Wolverine. Okay. In Spain, it's normal to use both names. Oh, okay. Well, he's not Spanish, is he? I thought he was American. Maybe not. We're not saying XRP is a security. If being a security were a spectrum, on this spectrum, XRP is a notch toward looking like a security than Hex. But, potato, spectrum, rectum. Exactly, dude. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a security. I'm just saying it's closer to a security than anything that I've seen in the crypto market, other than some like legit securities. Loomis is pro bankster. All right. Yes, Orange Grove's Howey test. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Keep your grubby government's mitts off my crypto Ponzi's. Yeah. It annoys me when people saying to throw out the Howey test because Hex was designed to not be a security according to Howey. New definition could endanger Hex. Yeah. I mean, very true. Very true, skeptic. I'm not saying to throw out the Ponzi. This lady was saying it, right? But I'm just saying maybe they do need some more, some new law to come in to actually, I'm not saying maybe they base it off of the Howey test, but maybe they just kind of, I don't know. You're right. Security exchange clown mission. Yep. We want a motion to dismiss. Let's see. Watching from Quebec, Canada. Big up to every Pulsechainer. Uh-oh. Canadians. Okay. The day of the leaf will be among us. Your little Canadian leaf flag, or the day of the rake, excuse me, when we rake up all those Canadian leaves. The SEC is doomed, allegedly properly served. Yeah, allegedly properly. Show me the victims. I'll wait. True. SEC always only serving its own interest of profit and leverage. We should think about this. It's obviously serious enough to scare Naga. Yeah. I should be worried about, like, I hope that Naga really, because how many times during this bear market that Naga said that he was selling for the next coin. I remember it was like Colt Coin, P-Dye, all these coins. And he's like, I sold all my Hex. This is what happens. If you want to see what happens when you sell all of your Hex and you get into the next meme coin, I'm not trying to hate on meme coins. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on meme coins at all. You guys do what you want to do. I'm just saying maybe take a small portion of your winnings, and it's got to be winnings. If you're down 90% already, maybe with new capital, buy your meme coins. Don't sell the thing that is down 99% and you're like, oh, I'm getting out of it before it goes down to 99.5. For me, it's just like I'm riding it down to the depths of hell. If I get new capital in, sure, I'm gonna buy into some other coin or whatever, or I'll probably buy into the thing that's down 99.5%. But if you don't want to, go buy your meme coin with new capital. But don't trade the thing that's down 99.5% down, thinking that you're gonna win on this one. This is the one. Oh, but I can buy more Hex. Sure you can, because that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna win out of everybody. You do what you want with your money. I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your money. This is just me. Potato brain advice only. Exactly. We went to go.hex on our own. Richard Heart didn't force us to mint Hex. True. You are the only one that can mint your Hex. You are the only one that, right? He's told us that millions of times. That paper is going to start a nice fire. Yep. Word salad. It felt like that while I was reading it. Only the Schiller is getting paid to promote rug pulls on Hexskins. Yep. That's not true, though. We never expected Richard to give us profits. That's how blockchains works. Well, I think that what they're saying is that we expected Richard to... This is one of the reasons why you guys got to, the small brains. I know none of you guys out there, but the small brains out there thinking, we need Richard Hart or we're not going to pump. That's what they're talking about in that document. They're saying These guys need Richard Heart. They need him. They're expecting him to stream so they can profit. It's exactly what they're talking about. Now, if we get away from that, maybe it doesn't look like we need Richard Heart to pump our bags, because we really don't. We've got 140 other people that are streamers or people that are talking about Hex that are in the Hex community. We don't need Richard Heart. Do we love Richard Heart? We love Richard Heart. Yay, we love him. Do we need Richard Heart? No, we don't. Right? He made the things. He doesn't need to stream. Right? He doesn't have to do everything. Let's see. Specifically was told no expectations over and over again. Yep. Yeah, he literally said it every chance he got. Yep. We are the third party. Maybe. When, I can't remember what it said, promoter or third party. I can't remember. When I'm told no expectations, doesn't that mean I should be expecting something? Yeah, I always assumed the sacrifice money would be used to pay legal team to defend an inevitable attack from the SEC. He had plenty of cash to pay dev team without the sacrifice. True. And plus, like, if he did have a sacrifice, he could have told some of these people, or paid them with the Ethereum that he had from before. Who knows, right? SEC is misappropriating funds by wasting money, fudding my pony pictures. Yep. Godwell. I just missed it. Godwell something. Let's see. Godwell wrecked eHex forever. Stop glorifying the dum-dums. Okay, SEC is a joke, but it isn't even funny. True. Redress for what? You mean extortion because of the complaint that someone was paid for? True. If let's see, if banksters say do not buy it, buy it. Okay, sheesh, my boy Richie about to clap some cheese. Lots of waffle at the end. SEC has no credibility. Well, it's really looking like that, right? They just keep taking L's. Left and right. I'm donated my mother-in-law. All right, yeah, she seems to, a couple of bucks into Hex. If that's what you want to get, because nobody wants the never mind. I'm not gonna say it. It was gonna be a whale joke, but I don't want to do it. RH already showed the middle finger by bridging in the stables backed by billionaires. Why did they even put on a response? I don't know. Let's see. Hand-drawn pony pictures are the securities now, according to the SEC. Looks like it. Throwing poo, but not fists yet. Yeah. Gary Gensler is just envy because he got no pony picture. No. SEC is trash. All right. The price pumps and Kinetic starts singing like a canary. Wish I had more time to sing louder. Okay. How great are XRP lawyers? XRP is definitely the closest to a security. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. They have office buildings. They have employees, and they're getting like, well, we don't know for security. We're going to go IPO. We want to IPO, but we don't need the money because we sell every month. It's literally every leg of the Howey test. Everybody expects profits from the work of them. Like, if they just stop doing any of this, talking about XRP or any of the work from any of these employees, like, it would be all over for the XRP boys, right? But over here in Hexaco, I don't expect Richard to stream. I don't expect him to promote it. He can do whatever he wants with his money. If he wants to dress up like a clown. By the way, some of his promotion we didn't want, right? And maybe that's why he did it. Don't get me wrong, maybe that's why he did it. But we was like, please stop with the promotions. It's too much for me. I'm having a cringe meltdown. A man purse, please. No, we don't want it. I don't want the man purse. Oh goodness, he's dressing up like a woman again. Hey mom, he's dressing up like a woman again. Should we buy? Yeah, honey, that's exactly what we should do. Right? How many times did that happen? None, because nobody wanted to buy when Richard was dressing like a woman's. Right? Little Canadian leaf flag. Yeah, goofy. Hex Guild is another Hex channel. Dr. Daraj is trying to drive into the crypto. Okay. Crack a bow. All right. Oh, crack. You're being too nice. If you sell for a meme coin, you're a scumbag. No, I don't think that you're a scumbag. Why? Because somebody buys something else that you don't like? Who cares? I'm pretty sure I had to agree with the no expectation clause before I could sacrifice. Exhibit A, right? Let's see. Hex, I want to see Moritz down bad in the Hex Cabal chat. Cantillion, we miss you, sir. Well, yeah, except for everybody was gotten like, oh, look, they're all. I remember the Cantillion chat you guys put on. Then you guys like they were saying that we were plotting on, oh, look, it's a Hex OGs plotting on selling on top of the Hex kids. This is where they all get together. It's like I'm pretty sure this is where everybody talks smack on everybody. But okay. Senor Hexologista, buenos noches. Okay. I also like nachos. Hopefully that's a direct translation. Let's see. Don't tell me what to do with my Hex. You could do whatever you want with your Hex. I was told to buy a raffle for a new Prius. Didn't win. Can I sue? Yep. Yep. We gonna pump, all right. Click. Oh gosh, all right. We already showed signs we can pump without Richard before he stepped in. True. Sure would help. Yeah, we're not saying it won't help, but we shouldn't expect it. Hit the likes. We Hexicans don't eat the bugs. Yep. What are your thoughts on Hex price when Bitcoin does the halvening? Well, I think that Bitcoin probably dumps into the halvening, and then a couple months afterwards it pumps out of it. But yeah, Hex price. Probably about the same. I think April, since there's the next hearing, I think people are going to get scared in their little britches and start to, crap in their little pants that something bad's going to happen. And then they're going to sell off. And then immediately afterwards, there's going to be a huge pump because, maybe it gets dismissed. Just imagine to yourself, think about it. What happens when all of this just goes away? It gets dismissed. It's just gone, right? What do you think's going to happen? Do you think that the SEC has a good case? That should be the thing that you should be thinking about. Does the SEC have a good case here, or are they just we're they put the JV team in? It's not even Gary Gensler going against them, right? It's the JV team of the it's some regional office of the SEC. It's not Gary Gensler going against it. So it's like guys that want to get promoted, and guess what? They put together a really shaky case, and Richard's team of lawyers put together like, oh, okay, well, is that what you want to come at us with? Okay, cool. Here, this is what we're gonna come at you with, right? And so I think that Richard has a good chance of winning. Now, if he has a good chance of winning and in April they completely dismiss it when the court date happens, what do you think the price is going to do? We saw Hex. I mean, look at the last 30 days. You don't have to look at today. 90% for Hex in the last month. That's Hex and eHex. So really at 2x. Same with Pulsechain. PulseX is almost done at 3x. It's done 200%. And incentive token 256%. Crazy. What the heck? Thank you for the $20. This comes with expectations of future streams. Hexo is now security. Oh, geez. Somebody don't call the SEC. I don't need any more subpoenas. I got to, I liked the, it was when I bought the pizzas. They called it a sub pizza. They sent it right to my house. It was worth $50. And boy, it wrecked my whole life 3 years later. Sub pizza. Cringe meltdown. Are there any nude beaches in Hexago? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you want to do it. Most of us are dudes. So you go to that by yourself. I'm not involved. I'm not going to, I'm not going to contract any monkeypox here. No, academaciated. Gary Gensler has been stealing my, okay, please help. Pony pictures, derangement syndrome. Yeah, okay. Those man purses though. Yeah, boost juice. Good morning, Hexo. Pass the Kool-Aid. Okay, I spent the sack money for a VTEC Civic. Okay, all right. Don't mind me just printing some ponies. All right. Your neighbor next door, listening to your constant barrage of Hex info through the walls, decides to finally buy. Let's hope. Let's see. Funny Hexo on RH, Gucci bags and teddy bear streams and bidet installations. Love it. Those are the days. Richard's lawyer is going to smack the Sonic rings out of them. Yeah, they're gonna, don't get hit again. You lose a life. They have a decent case. The question is, can they try the case well, or can they try that case well? I don't think so. I don't know, man. It seems pretty lame case compared. Like when you read Richard's rebuttal from the first part, it doesn't seem too Their rebuttal on it was just kind of like, oh boy, we're over our heads. That was what it sounded like. Hexo gives the best financial advice out. Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about, Philip M. SEC, such an error of comedies. Yeah, Bitcoin is an amateur hour complaint. Lots of errors in it. What? False. Hexo, we need to get some badass women in Hexo. Do I think that? Sure. Do I see that? No. Most are bowling alley chicks. I'm gonna get wrecked for that one. All right, back to the episode. All right, thanks, Hexo. Yeah, no problem. Great to catch you live. A little late though. Let's see. For them, it's all they can do. They have no case. True. Their rebuttal is basically no. I know you are, but what am I? Remember the go times? Wait, what does that say? Oh, the good times. Those were the bidets. Yeah. Remember the good times? Those are the bidets. Hexo literally has to say that because Hex Nurse is in the next room. Right. Yeah, exactly. You won more with that bowling alley. Well, thank you, Ben Coin. Let's see. All right, yeah, give a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. I'm probably gonna get canceled. Hexo's canceled in the Twitterverse now because he made a naughty joke. Did you say that court case starts in April? Yeah, I think it was like April 8th or April 30th or something. I can't remember the exact date. You can go back and look at it. But yeah, they pretty much have a court date in April, I believe. Does the incentive token has a potential? Well, Sweegie, you want to hear some crazy potential? There's only 21 million of them, 22 million of them now. Let's see, 21,541,000 of them currently. They're being burned at 118,000 of them have already been burned. There's no OA that is holding them. There's no huge bag holder. And the only way to get them is either A, buying them, or B, by farming them. That's the only two ways that you can get them. So you either have to have a huge bag of liquidity, which if you have a huge bag of liquidity, are you going to sell your incentive token all the time? Probably not. You probably already have enough money and you're probably just going to sit on it, right? And if you're just buying it, maybe you're trying to play the trading game, but you probably don't have enough money either, right? So the people that have huge bags of them, I think that it's people that already have huge bags, right? And the incentive token's kind of just like, yeah, I mean, it'll be the first thing to go for sure. I think that it's the first thing to go, but maybe not. I mean, look at it, 256%. That's crazy. Incentive gets burned. Yeah, yep. Same with PulseX. Let's see what happened to Hexplosive. He's still around. Hexo looking like a half a beef. Yeah, half a beef. When Hex bowling t-shirts. I have one. Did you say the quirk? Let's see. Cheers, Hexo. Missed the start. Rewind time. All right, and watch it in 0.25 speed. It shows more retention rate. I'll start a channel and let you know if they do it because you ain't wrong. I'll start a channel and let you on it if they do, because what is that? I don't know what that Hexo. Okay, let's see. All right, guys. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow. Great time. It's freaking crazy high snow over here. We got like 2 feet, and it's been like 0 degrees, negatives in the negatives the last couple of days. So yeah, if I can't get on the streams, sorry about that, but cancel you. Sorry. Okay. This was a compliment, by the way. No homo. Oh, no, it's all right. It's all right. I'm not taking any monkeypox from any of you guys. Incentive token doesn't get burned as far as we know. Well, it gets burned. Yeah, it shows burned right here. Let's see. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. See you guys later. You guys have a great night.